What's up, everybody? I'm Phil. That's Sam.
Hey guys, welcome back. We are Bars and Barbells.
We're coming to the Red Hot Chili Peppers for the second time on the channel. It's been a long time since we did the last one, Californication.
Yeah, we did that live.
Yeah, we did a live version of that. That was a sponsored video, and it was quite a while ago. I think that might be like a year and a half to 2 years ago now.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but I feel like Red Hot Chili Peppers are one of those bands that I always heard about growing up. Like my cousin was really into the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I just never really dabbled in. So I'm excited to hear more of the music.
Yeah, I am not familiar with them. I'm interested to get into their catalog because I've heard the name mentioned many times. I think I've seen them on TV and stuff before. I think they were pretty popular on MTV. And I remember that I think the one guy always plays naked on stage. I think that's what I remember about.
Really?
Yeah,
I
pretty
didn't know that. That's funny.
Maybe it's Flea. That it might be him. I think he's the bass player. True. Anyways, so we got Under the Bridge here. This one apparently did really well, and it was a chart breaker for them. They broke through on the charts with this one, and it went to number 2 in the US, and it went to number 11 or 12 in the UK.
I think it was 26.
All right, then. So I was off by a factor of 2. But it obviously did well in the US, and came out what year?
1992.
Oh, see, she wanted to correct me on some of the numbers, so I thought she'd make sure she was polished on the other ones. And 1992, the band formed in the early 80s, and like I said, this was their breakthrough hit apparently. So you guys may argue with that, and if you've got other recommendations that you want to give us for Red Hot Chili Peppers, you know what to do.
Drop them down below.
Down below in the comments section. If you enjoy the video, hit the like button. But let's get into it. Under the Bridge.
Sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner. Sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. Lonely as I am, together we cry. Drive on the streets 'cause she's my companion. I walk through the hills 'cause she knows who I am. She sees my good deeds and she kisses me windy. And I never worry, now that is a lie. I don't ever want to the place I love, take me all the way. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love, take me all the way. It's hard to believe there's nobody out there. It's hard to believe that I'm all alone. At least I have her love. The city, she loves me. Lonely as I am, together we cry. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me.
All right, so we got Under the Bridge, Sam. How are you feeling about this one? Do you recognize it at all?
I do a little bit. It sounds familiar, like one of those things that I may have just heard in passing on the radio before or like in the background of a TV show or something. Like it sounds familiar, but not enough for me to know it thoroughly.
Yeah, well, I
Does
was
that make
thinking
sense?
to me, melodically, it is kind of similar to Californication.
Yeah,
That's
it is
what
a
I
little
was
bit
thinking.
similar to
The
that.
delivery of it. The song itself is obviously much more emphatic, emotional, ballad feel. But the way the vocal delivery comes through, it does give me that vibe. Similarly, it kind of brought me. I had a flashback to us doing that video.
Yeah.
But it's a great song, and love the delivery. I mean, it's so cool the way he's painting the picture, giving the vibe of LA and being on the streets of LA, and how like in one sense he's vulnerable in those streets, and that's because the streets know all about him, and
Yeah,
at
it's
the
almost,
same
like,
time,
comforting at the same time.
yeah, that's his salvation as well, because he's alone, but at the same time he's comfortable there, and really unique introspective vibe that I was not expecting we were going to get from the Red Hot Chili Peppers on this one.
Yeah, for sure. And I agree. It does have similarities to Californication, but I definitely feel like I've heard this before. The chorus like really sounds familiar.
Do you like
to me.
it?
I do. I like it a lot. I like the melodic flow of it. I feel like while Californication is similar, I do feel like it's a little bit of a heavier sound than this. I feel like this has like a little bit more of a ballad melodic flow kind of feel to it. And I love his vocal delivery. Like you said, I feel like it really takes you on the journey and the storytelling of it. And I do actually like the video too. I mean, obviously this is from like the 90s, so it's a little bit, less high tech and, one might argue a little bit more cheesy, but I do feel like it paints the picture of the song.
In what way?
Like he's, talking about walking through the streets of LA and kind of like what he's experiencing and also being alone. And I feel like it's painting the picture there because, he's walking down the street and there's all these people around him, but he's talking about being alone. And I think
But
that's
he doesn't
something.
know any of them.
Yeah. And I think that's something that people can relate to, right? Like, the old saying of like, you feel alone in a crowded room, right? And I think that's something that people can relate to. And, I think also I'm assuming this is filmed in LA.
Yeah.
So you're seeing a little bit of the visual of what it is like for him to be there and be going through these activities and walking around in his daily life. So it kind of helps visually paint the picture.
Very
of like,
reflective, it
Yeah.
feels like.
That I'm all alone. At least I have her love to see that she loves me. Lonely as I am, together we cry. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. Yeah, yeah. Oh, no, 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 yeah, yeah. Love me, I say, yeah, yeah. One time. Is where I drew some blood. I could not get enough. Forgot about my love. I gave my life away. Where I stay.
All right, that was Under the Bridge. And
So what
you guys
were
can give
your-
us more insights down below on this song. We were reading that it might have had some references to recovery from drug addiction and There was no specific mentions of that in the song that I came across anyways.
No, the only pieces that I kind of put together there that I thought maybe was alluding to that is we had read that the name Under the Bridge was referring to a bridge in LA that he had gone and used heroin under at one point. And then he also refers to in the song, I don't want to feel like I did on that day, right? So maybe that's the day that he's talking about, potentially like his low point, his breaking point, like hitting rock bottom. But that's just speculation.
Yeah, and you never know. Sometimes, these song summaries or, brief overviews that
Yeah.
we try not to get too much information before we go into it, because then it ruins our first listening experience. And sometimes they can say things and it's completely irrelevant.
Yeah, not
to
even true at all.
what the artist said. So that's why I was just saying, if you guys got more insights on the meaning behind the song, sometimes there's multiple meanings. For me, I felt like it was introspective, and it was talking about LA, and it was talking about, being comfortable in LA, but at the same time feeling alone. And that to me, could also represent stardom and the celebrity lifestyle. And that's
Yeah.
why I was just leading with you guys and saying, like, let me know what you guys think it is, or if you've heard anything what this song represents, because that's where I would automatically go to, is like living that star life and being
Yeah.
in that lifestyle of a rock star that can really draw you into this party lifestyle. And the street of LA is representative of that. But at the same time, you feel alone because you don't have any friends, or you don't feel like anybody actually wants to be
Yeah.
close to you.
You don't know
and
who you
so
can
you feel
trust.
isolated. Yeah, so I love the strings though in the song. The bass really came through on this one for me and stuck out. And vocal was great, storytelling was great vibe. So overall, I think it was a song that I'm gonna put up there in the catalogs that we've gotten into on the channel thus far. But I'd like to hear more from this catalog from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great, and a good second intro to them from what we did, because we were both a little bit familiar with Californication, right, doing the live one. So this was cool to see something else that we were less familiar with. And I agree. I think that like you touched on the stardom thing, and I think that that's often something that's talked a lot about in music. Is they're surrounded by so many people, fans, their entourage, but really at heart they're kind of alone because nobody really can sympathize with what they're going through because they're the one in that position, right? And it's hard to know who to trust and who's like just trying to get something out of it, and all that. So I think that it could definitely be a metaphor for that as well. But I really enjoyed it, so I'd love to hear more.
All right, guys, that's it from us today. Drop a comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe. Have a great day. We'll see you in our next one.
Thanks, guys.